A very warm welcome to all my viewers to the Sentinels Newsmakers. And my guest today is Mr. Nishant Das. He is the advocate in Delhi High Court. Nishant, a very warm welcome to you to Sentinels Newsmakers.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be sharing the screen with you.
Great. So let's start by talking about how does it feel to be a lawyer during these times, amidst COVID, lockdown, how does it feel?
So clearly, Oineetom, it's not the best of time to be a lawyer.
Right,
And like all the other industries, the
right.
legal fraternity has been reeling under the impact of COVID-19.
Yes,
And the way things are looking up, yes, it is challenging. Courts have been shut and
right.
non-operational since the last three months now. And the steps that have been taken so far by introducing virtual hearings, for instance,
Yes,
has not been the most effective tool. So
right.
yes, we are looking at a lot of challenges.
Absolutely. So that is something I've been, meaning to ask you about the virtual court proceedings that we all are talking about at this point of time. So what are what are the real challenges there? How comfortable it actually is? Think about, doing something, not being in the courtroom face to face. It must be a whole new experience for each one of you.
Yes, in fact, uh, it is the need of the hour, I believe.
Yeah.
Hence, the step has been well appreciated across all the corners. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of challenges. The
Right.
access to video conferencing facility is something
Mhm.
which has always been difficult for the masses.
Yes. Right.
And also, there are certain issues regarding the conduct of a trial. So, while conducting a trial, while you are cross-examining a witness, and you
Yeah.
are, the accused has to be there physically. So, those
Right.
are certain issues which is challenging.
Yes.
But yes, definitely, it is the need of the hour. And
Uh-huh.
to add up to the woes, yes, there are certain technical glitches that one has to confront with while
Right.
handling a hearing through video conferencing facility.
Yes. Right.
So all
So,
of this is quite
yeah,
challenging. Yes.
absolutely. Also, what about if somebody has an urgent matter coming up and all? How are those things being handled?
Yes. So right now, the Honorable Supreme Court on 6th of April 2020 has come up with certain guidelines to
Yeah.
regulate the conduct of a case through video conferencing. But
Okay.
again, it only qualifies and only those particular hearing where there is some kind of urgent relief being sought are being
Right.
entertained. Hence, most of the cases, the majority of the cases are being adjourned, and the postponement of the cases is only adding up to the already huge
Absolutely.
pendency.
Right.
So yes,
Right.
so that is one concern.
Yes, yes, yes. This must be just adding up. And also, we all know that, like you also mentioned, that there's a huge pendency of cases there. This is just adding up. What about the scenario as far as the judges are concerned? I believe there is a large amount of vacancy there as well, right?
Yes, that has been an issue for the longest time. But again, right
Yes,
now the focus has been to entertain as many cases as possible through the available facility, that is the
right.
VC process, and
Yes.
even a lot of correspondence are being undertaken between the bar and the bench. A lot of senior
Right.
members from the bar, including the chairman of the Bar Council of India, has written to the
Yes.
Chief Justice of India requesting the court to start physical hearing as soon as possible, because although this is something which is required to deal with the
Yeah.
current situation, this particular medium mechanism cannot
Yes.
replace physical courts.
Right. Yes.
So
But I believe,
hence,
yeah.
when it comes to the number of cases that can be really entertained effectively, yes, we have to maybe come up with a SOP, which has been the mechanism in many other
Right.
sectors. There has to be some
Right.
regulating process for us to
Yes.
get back to the physical courts.
And also, I'm sure the Bar Council must be working on the SOP as well as once the courts reopen, how exactly things are going to, pan out, how the proceedings will be conducted, how many people will be allowed inside a courtroom, all of these things. I'm sure the things are being, thrashed out as in the coming days
Yes,
so
yes,
that there's
definitely,
not much of.
definitely. There are a lot of communication correspondences that is being exchanged. So we can only
Yes.
hope that gradually, in a phased manner, maybe we get back to our physical courts, or maybe
Yeah.
in the alternative, we try and adapt to the virtual hearing in a more effective manner for more of the
Right.
cases to be entertained, so that
Yes.
the pendency in the cases can be dealt with. Yes.
Right. So, would you like to share, some of your personal experiences, during these times, how handling cases has been?
Yes, so I have just been able to gather one matter that could
Uh-huh.
qualify for virtual
Right.
hearing. So yes,
Yes.
it was difficult to get used to the entire process of
Right.
asserting your case before a screen, and even
Yeah.
as I had mentioned earlier, the technical glitches, it just
Right.
adds up to the challenges.
Yes. Yes. I'm
So
sure it's.
yes, it has not been the most comfortable experience. Yes, change is good. Maybe in the longer scheme of things, we might have this as an alternative to deal with certain kinds of cases, but
Yeah.
this cannot write off the way justice is dispensed through the physical courts, clearly.
Right. Yeah. And also, what about, certain cases where maybe the petitioner might not actually have access to the technology at all?
That is the challenge. In fact, you had
Yeah.
mentioned the rural in India, the
Yeah.
people with
Yes.
limited facilities. They really cannot
Yeah.
easily find these particular infrastructure in place. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere definitely the dispensation of justice is being compromised. But again,
Yep.
the entire world is trying to adapt to the new normal.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yes. I mean, justice, we always have this saying, justice delayed is justice denied. Of course, anyways, the entire process takes a lot of time. Now, with COVID happening and with this entire lockdown scenario, it seems like, the legal space would be the worst hit, and people who have cases would definitely be impacted a lot more now because everything is getting delayed. So
yes,
hopefully,
absolutely. So the litigants as well as the lawyers are
yes,
all facing the current crisis. Even for
right,
lawyers as a
yeah,
community,
yes,
when you start the profession, it is not the most lucrative when it comes
yeah,
to starting off a practice. So
right,
yes, lawyers don't have great savings, and with less amount of revenue during the last 3 months, it has
yeah,
been pretty difficult. Sustenance has been a challenge. Although I would like to mention here that the Bar Council of various states have
yes,
proposed some kind of financial aid for the younger lawyers. And as a matter of
right,
fact, I'm aware of this particular extension of financial aid that has happened in Delhi. One of my
okay,
friend, a young colleague rather, so he has
yeah,
been extended some kind of financial assistance. But to basically
yeah,
identify the deserving candidates and the execution implementation of these schemes, it is not the most
yes.
easiest, I believe.
Right. So, yeah, it must have been really difficult coping up with such times. I mean, we've never spoken about the legal fraternity. We have been highlighting issues in the other sectors. Like we've always been talking about the Indian industry, the medium, small scale enterprises, the traders, the entrepreneurs, everybody. But we have not been talking much about the legal fraternity. But now
Correct.
that we speak, there's so much at stake for you all as well. So how exactly, what is the plan? I mean, going ahead, what is the plan? How are you guys, all of you, coping up?
So yes, again, since you mentioned about the welfare schemes, which is
Yes.
maybe prevalent in other sectors, the The difficulty
Right.
with the legal fraternity is that there is no dedicated welfare scheme. Very
Yeah.
recently, Delhi government has introduced 50 odd crores for the welfare
Mm-hmm.
of lawyers. But
Yeah.
then such schemes have been the subject of discussion for the longest
Mm.
time, but
Right.
nothing really has panned out well.
Hmm.
But yes, definitely now I feel in a phased manner, of course, because
Yes.
end of the day it's an assembly of people and it can turn out to be a COVID hotspot.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yes, we just can't adopt the earlier way of functioning. Maybe there has to be some modification, some procedure where there can
Right.
be dedicated cases with certain
Hmm.
specific timelines.
Mm-hmm.
So those particular things maybe need to be worked upon.
Would you be aware if something similar that you have mentioned are in the works? There's a thinking going on, and maybe what the bar council is thinking about going ahead.
So I'm not very clear on the exact modalities that they are working
Right.
on, but yes,
Yes.
there are certain proposals in place where they are
Mm-hmm.
trying to place particular matters with certain time slots so that there is no
Okay.
overcrowding inside the courtroom. The lawyers can
Right.
get inside, assert their
Yes.
case, and come out and make way
Mm-hmm.
for the next set of lawyers to get in and do the same. So
Okay.
those are particular mechanisms, and maybe there
Yeah.
can be some buffer time in between for the sanitation to be up to date and
Done. Right.
the regular
Yes. Yeah.
process to
Yeah. Yeah.
be
So
followed. Yes,
depending on one case and moving on to the next case, there will be some spacing so that the area can be sanitized and disinfected, and then the
yes.
next case hearing takes place. All right. Also, do we know? Are you picking up anything by when the courts might actually reopen?
That is difficult to say. As of now,
Yeah.
for instance, in Delhi, there is a
Right.
notification in place where the
Mm-hmm.
courts are not operational till 14th of June. So we
Okay.
are waiting for the latest update from the courts.
Right.
But
Right.
as of now, there is
Okay.
no concrete information.
All right.
But
Okay.
maybe my gut feeling is saying that maybe by July
Right.
there should be some process for physical
Okay.
courts to
Yes.
kickstart. Yes.
Yeah. So now a little bit about this. We were talking about the pendency of cases and everything. So what is the kind of backlog that we are looking at because
So
of
to give you
COVID?
the exact number might not be
Yeah.
possible right now,
Right.
but of course
Yes.
it's
Yes.
immense. The
Mm-hmm.
pendency is immense, and also the way the entire trial process is carved out in our uh, code, it is a
Right.
time-consuming process for
Yes.
actually making sure that it is a fair disposal of a matter. But
Mm-hmm.
again, the flip side of this world crisis is that yes, there will be certain litigation in place.
Mm-hmm.
There will be certain kinds of issues that will require the redressal from the
Yeah.
courts, which will range from employment-related cases, rent control cases.
Mm-hmm.
The situation will also lead to certain breach of contracts, commitments, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, there's a surge in the domestic violence cases that is currently a
Right.
major concern.
Mm.
It's a major concern. Yes, so this is one
Yeah.
factor which everyone is aware of, that yes, COVID would also
Right.
lead to a lot of added litigation, but the way corporates
Mm-hmm.
have so far reacted with the financial
Yeah.
burden, most of the corporate players,
Mm-hmm.
according to me, would try to get the issues resolved out of court rather than getting entangled in litigation for a long
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Yes, they will look
Yeah.
out for
Yes.
amicable resolution of disputes, I feel.
Right. 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 Any other point that you think you would want to make?
So although the virtual hearing is right now the need of the hour, so I
Yeah.
completely agree with the chairman of the Bar Council of India
Yeah.
that this cannot be the only way forward.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be certain efforts from the side of the higher judiciary
Yeah.
to come up with the SOP so as to end the troubles being faced by the councils, which I have already
Okay.
highlighted.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
thank
Thanks.
you. Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks a lot.